Hi everyone. So this is just a short follow-up video about drawing the robin. And this video is going to be all about a little bit more simple version of the robin. So if you watch the other video, here's an example of the robin I drew and colored. Actually, I did two. I did this one and this one. So we drew the robin in two different positions, and we did kind of a lot of detail and coloring in those birds, and I realized that that is maybe a little too challenging, a little too hard for some of you students. What's hard for me as a teacher is that this class is really geared towards 7, 8, and 9-year-olds, so like 2nd through 4th grade. And if you are 9 and in 4th grade, well then this project might not be as difficult for you. But if you are 7 and you're more in 2nd grade, then you might need this more simpler version of the robin that's not quite as advanced. So I apologize if anyone got frustrated from that last video. I'm going to just walk you through, boys and girls, on drawing this robin, and we're just going to keep it really simple. So let me show you the basic shapes. Now the basic shapes are going to be the same that we started in the other video. So the basic shape of the robin shouldn't be too terribly hard for you, especially if you've been in my class all year. So I'm going to change the way I start though. The last time I started with this half a circle, or I called it a taco shape just for fun. I started with that. I think this time I'm going to start with the head. So if you want to find the middle of your paper, come up a little bit and to the left. So middle of the paper, come up and to the left right here. This is about where we're going to draw the head of the robin. And we're going to draw a little oval like that. Okay? So there's going to be the head of our robin. And then we're going to go ahead and draw that, what I called a taco shape. And I know that sounds funny, but basically it's like a big curved line. Big curved line, like a huge smile. And then we closed it off at the top like that. So the reason I called it a taco shape is because if you flip it around, it looks to me like a taco shell. Anyway, there we go. We have the basic shape of the main shape of the bird's body. And now we're going to add a tail feather, which is just going to be a triangle. We're going to use several triangles in this project. So here's the triangle for the tail feather. So if you would like to pause this video for just a few minutes and get caught up and draw your head and your body shape, which is half a circle or a taco shape, and then a tiny triangle for his tail feather, why don't you go ahead and do that? Okay, so the next triangle shape we're going to draw is going to be for his beak, and this triangle is going to be much, much, much smaller than this one. And so we're just going to draw a tiny little triangle like that for the beak. And I bet most of you have drawn some kind of bird before. And if you haven't, then this is your first one, and I'm excited to draw it with you. All right, we're going to add one more tiny triangle, and this one is going to go in the opposite direction. It's going to be a tiny little triangle that looks like it's pointing towards the robin's eye. Okay, when we are younger students, when we're real little and we're first starting, we might just do this and we might just stop there. See how the triangle just stops there? What we're going to do is we're going to add another little triangle like that. Okay, and it just helps to make it look like the beak, it isn't just stopping there at the edge of his face, it's coming in a little bit like that. So we're going to draw that tiny little triangle inside his face. Okay, and then we can erase this line, that tiny little line. So it looks like that. Okay, now we need a wing, and the wing is going to be this big, it's almost like a raindrop or a teardrop shape. If I turn it this way, can you see that it looks like a raindrop or a teardrop? Okay, so we're going to draw that right here, nice and big, and it can even overlap or cover up part of that line if you want it to. Now remember, we don't want to press hard with our pencil. If we press hard with our pencil, we won't be able to erase. Okay, so we only need a few more things before we can start outlining and coloring. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make what I'm going to call the neck of the bird. So we're going to draw a little curved line or wavy line like this that connects this oval to his body. So see how it comes in right here and it's kind of a sharp corner. We want to get rid of that. So look, I'm going to trace over this line and come down with a wavy line until it connects. See how it connects? I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to start here. It's just kind of a wavy line that's connecting and giving him more of a neck. Okay, so once I do that, I can erase these lines in the middle. Okay, now we're just going to add one little line right here. It connects the neck from here to the wing, and it separates the top of his head from his beautiful belly, which is going to be orange in our picture. Sometimes it looks more red, sometimes it looks more orange. Anyway, we're going to just draw a little line right here. It could be a little curvy if you want. And then we need an eye. So we're going to draw 3 circles. Why 3 circles? Well, robins have some white markings around their eye. Kind of looks like a white circle. I'll show you the other picture of a robin I drew, and you can really see those white markings around his eye. This one we're going to keep it a little more simple. So what we're going to do is, let me get my scratch piece of paper here, my extra piece of paper. We're going to draw a circle, and then we're going to draw another circle, and then for that reflected light that we've talked about before in class, we've talked about that a lot, we just want a tiny little circle like that. Okay, so right about here, we're going to find the center of his head and maybe come up a little bit and forward a little bit. That's where we want it. So we want, the first circle can be kind of big like that, and then another circle inside it, and then that tiny little circle. Okay, so that's done. Now the only thing we need to do are his legs and his feet. Okay, so I'm going to draw, it's going to be this kind of shape. We're going to do 2 lines down and close it off at the bottom. It's kind of like a triangle, except for it's not going to have a point. We're going to draw a line here and cut it off so that it doesn't have that point at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to just draw 2 little lines. They're kind of angling in towards each other, and then we're going to close it off at the bottom. And I'm just going to draw another one right here next to it, maybe a little bit smaller. And those, I kind of call those like, they're like cuffs almost, or they're just a little part of his legs that have maybe some feathers on them. And then we're just going to draw two little legs coming out from there. And instead of going straight down, let's try to angle these forward a little bit, like this. See how I angled it forward instead of coming straight down? And I'm going to draw two lines for each leg. And then we just need some feet. So the feet, we're going to do, look, it kind of looks like a letter Y if we turn it this way. A very, very, very skinny Y, like a Y that's laying down on the ground. So I start with a V, and I'm going to make that line a little longer. See how it kind of looks like a letter Y? And if you want, you can try to make it a little thicker by drawing another line on the other side. So just like that. Okay, so now our robin is fully drawn and we can outline in color. Okay, so I'm going to outline this one in brown. In the other video, I outlined my birds in black. In this one, I outlined in brown. So you can do either one. If you have a black marker or a brown marker, you get to choose which one you would like to use to outline. So I'm just going to trace over my lines, except for the eye. I'm going to do the eye with black, I think. And I'm going to trace with marker over all my pencil lines. And I'm going pretty fast. So if you need to pause the video so that you have time to do this, I don't expect you to do it as fast as me. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video so that you can finish outlining your robin. Okay, so now I'm going to do the eye, and I'm going to use black for the eye. So I'm going to trace over that outer circle, and then the next circle. That's two. I have one more teeny tiny little circle. And after I outline that, I'm going to fill in the middle circle like that. Can you see how I did that? Okay, now I get to color. So I'm going to let you choose. We're going to just stick with one color because I know in this robin, the other video that's a little bit more advanced, I used a couple different colors. And I used a couple different colors both in his belly and also in his body and his head. But that can get a little advanced, a little confusing. So we're going to keep it one color, very simple. And I chose brown. If you want to do yours in gray or black with colored pencil, you can. If you don't have colored pencils at home, you can use crayon. But I'm going to use brown. Or you know what? I used brown in this one. Why don't I do gray this time? And that way you can see what the gray looks like. And then you can choose which one you like best. So I'm just going to color all of this brown, or gray. I almost forgot what color I was using. Now, the reason the colors are different, when you look at a robin, like that photo that I will show you again. Here's a photo of a real robin. So in this photo of a real robin, you can see all the different colors in his body. His head looks very black and his wing looks very gray. Here's a big close-up where you can really see the different colors. Okay, so you can see that the robin has lots of different colors in him, gray and brown and black. But to make it simple, we're going to just stick with one color. So this time I'm going to use gray and see what that looks like. Again, the last time I did it, I used brown. So that might be my favorite, I think, brown. This one maybe looks a little too light. I guess I could have used a darker brown. I'm going to color his, or a darker gray. I keep saying brown and I mean gray. Maybe if I had a darker gray. Let's see if I have a darker gray. Have to sharpen my pencil. Okay, let's see if this is a darker gray. Oh yeah, it's a little darker. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what it would look like if you used gray. Maybe that's a little darker. Okay, and then we're going to do his belly orange, and to me it looks kind of reddish orange. So instead of using regular orange, and if all you have at home is orange, that's fine. But if you have a pencil that says red orange, that might be the best color to use. And then we can color this in. Now, you don't want to press so hard that your hand hurts, but since he's so bright and colorful, his belly is so bright and colorful, you might want to press a little bit hard so you can really see that red orange. Okay, and now the only thing I have to color is his beak. And if you have a colored pencil at home that's called golden yellow, that probably is the best pencil to use instead of regular yellow, golden yellow. All right, so there we go. That is the simplified version of the robin. Not that it's simple. I'm not saying it's simple. It's still a challenge. And here's what it looks like if you use brown. So you decide. I think my opinion is I like it better brown. But if you like it better gray, or maybe you want to try black, here's my original drawing from the other video. This has a lot of black in it, so you could try that too. And in the other video, I also did this robin. And these were the basic shapes for that robin. So if you'd like to try that, it's a little harder, a little more challenging, but if you want to try that robin, you can watch the other video. Okay, boys and girls, so hopefully you will have fun drawing your robins. Here I did another robin using black, and I think I like this one just as much, if not more, than the brown one. So if you want to use brown or black, that's probably the best choice, but it's good that we experimented. I'm glad I tried using the gray to see what it would look like. Anyway, if you need to watch this video again, and again, pause it whenever you need to, that's fine. Don't forget to show me pictures of your artwork when you're all done. I would love to see them. Have a great day.